Because the answers are not on the outside. I've tried. They're within inside of you, and only you and God know that. So it's important to... Hi YouTube, it's Kennedy Nevaeh here, and I wanted to talk about the importance of spending time alone, godly isolation, and what can stem from that. Because I realized that if I'm serious about my growth and I want to become a better person, I want to develop into the best version of me I can be, that requires so much time alone. Because the answers are not on the outside. I've tried. They're within inside of you, and only you and God know that. So it's important to have a relationship with Him. And secondly, have that sense of being within yourself first. I have to let go of old patterns. I have to heal old traumas. I have to overcome fears, the doubt, and maybe uncertainty that comes when I think about the person that I want to be. That's just the realization I had to make. And ever since, it's been clear for me. My trajectory, the person I want to become, the things I want to do have been clear. And my dreams have grown bigger because I'm not surrounded by people who are stagnant in their own lives or simply don't dream as big because they don't have the capacity to. And that's fine. It's nothing personal against those people, but that's how you know that you're different, because your dreams don't reflect the kind of mediocre dreams of people around you. That just means you're meant for more. That means you're called by God to do higher. Because one thing about God, He's not going to give you some teeny weeny little dream. He's not going to give you some tiny tinkety winkety. Okay, He's going to give you something that's mind-blowing. Like, is this even possible? Eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard. Okay? So when that happens, you got to go deep within. You can't go sharing that with people all the time. I believe certain people, yes, of course. God knows what He's doing. He can send people in your life that will match that. And He definitely has for me. And who will support your dreams. There are some people who are hating, who get uncomfortable around you. They see what you're doing, but they didn't have the courage to do it themselves, so they kind of retreat a little bit. Like, you can see it, but it takes self-awareness, self-reflecting to see that it's not for everyone. So yeah, whenever I made the decision, like, I'm gonna start doing things for me, that's when growth really started to happen. That's when I really started to dream bigger. And there's this post, it's on one of my Instagram posts, but it talks about dreams so big that you make others uncomfortable. That's how you know you're dreaming big enough, because other people are getting uncomfortable. They're staying stagnant while you're going up. And it's crazy because while you're going up, it doesn't necessarily feel like it. Like, you have a dream to start this business. You have a dream to create content and be an influence. In the beginning stages, it's not like you're just gonna blow up. I mean, you might. Yeah, I hope so. But it feels uncomfortable. Or when you first start going to the gym, it's uncomfortable. But then 3 months later, 6 months later, you're seeing results. You're like, this is actually working towards something. But people aren't even willing to go through the uncomfortable stage of that. So you having a big dream, like, yeah, I gotta get this body, I'm gonna start going to the gym, I gotta get my health, my fitness right, I'm gonna start creating content, I wanna start, you're looking like, girl, good luck. Or it couldn't be me, I don't know, because you don't make da-da-da-da. But then it's people like that it'll start to rub off. And you'll start to be like, okay, really, can I do this? Can I do that? Is this possible? You have to go through seasons and times where you really have to focus on yourself, and no one else can interfere with the vision or the dream or the goal that God has given you. That's why it's so important to be set apart. Like, people in the Bible, Abraham, David, Solomon, God called them. He ordained them. He separated them. You have to get to a point where your worth is determinate upon how God sees you, what He says you can be, the dreams He's given you, the purpose, the calling, the destiny He has for you, as opposed to other people. And this isn't like cut yourself off from the world, like everything like that. It's a godly separation and godly isolation, because when I think about it, when you're anointed and God blesses you with so much fruit in your life, a part of you does want to share it, because it's like, it's good news. It feels good. You have something to hope for. You have something to look forward to. But it's people who don't. It's people who don't. And they just want to snatch. They just want to snatch. They want to undermine. They want to deter you. You can't let that happen. If you're a very open, genuine, pure person, you think that the way that you see the world and the purity, the innocence kind of that you have about the world, everyone has that. But everyone does not have that. People will smile in your face and be hating. They will be envious. They will be jealous. They'll be like taking energy from you because you're just so open and kind. So you have to step back. You have to realize this is my personal calling, my personal dream. I'm thinking of the story of Joseph. When he had a dream that he would become king over his brothers. He had a dream that he would become the prince of Egypt or the king of Egypt. And his brothers was hearing him and hating on him. They was like, oh no, we're going to have to sell him into slavery because this can't work. Because they didn't have a dream. I'm paraphrasing y'all, but you know what I'm saying. Joseph went through it because he told his brothers that dream. But the craziest part is it was all God's plan. Because had Joseph not told his brothers, would it have happened the same? That's when you have to think of the sovereignty of God, the will of God, the grace of God, that in the midst of his brothers hearing about that, plotting against him to kill him, sold him into slavery, you have to think about what was going on behind the scenes and how God still ordained him to be king. And it's like, if Joseph hadn't told his brothers that, would he have still been king? So it's like, either way, I feel like God works things for the good of those who love him, like no matter what you do. But it is up to us to use our wisdom and discernment, because it is people plotting against you. And I had to learn that the hard way. But that came from me spending time alone. This is not to say that you can do it all alone, all by yourself, that you never need nobody, because I do not agree with that. Part of the reason why I am the person that I am today is because of the people that God has brought into my life. But I'm just saying you can't become codependent on them, that your worth stems from the outside people, outside sources. It has to come from the inside. That way that light can reflect in your other relationships, whether it's friends, whether it's your mom, whether it's your sister, your best friend, I don't know. So yeah, this is not to say never to talk to anyone ever again. No, you need people, especially if they help you grow into the better version of yourself. But how can they help you grow into the better version of yourself if you're not even clear on what that version of yourself looks like? And also, when you have such a big dream, like I said, you want to share it. You want everyone to know, but then you realize not everyone has the best intentions for you. So you have to turn inward and say, but I have the best intentions for me, and what would be the best decision? What would be the best way to go about this? I'm not going to share it with everyone. Don't cast your pearls before swine. Don't cast your precious jewels and your secrets and in your, like, this is literally your life. Don't cast that upon other people, because they'll take it and walk all over it. They'll take it and pollute it. They'll try to, at least. They'll try to pollute your dreams, pollute your desires. They'll try to undermine it and make you feel less than. They'll try to make you feel like you're dreaming too big. But that's because you're dreaming so big, you're making other people uncomfortable. When you come to yourself, you realize, no, this is important to me. This is what I want to do with my life, and I can't allow other people to influence that. You start to develop a sense of self-worth. When you spend time alone and you really start getting your priorities straight, you start to see it's not about everyone else. It's about where God is taking you to help other people, to be of light to other people, but it all starts within. And you start to think, like, this is actually worth something. I have something to lose, and I'm not going to take my precious jewels, my precious energy, and expend it everywhere on everyone. I have to build that worth within myself. I have to build that confidence. Like, don't take what I'm saying as you're living only for yourself and it's selfish gain and forget everyone, F everyone. No. What I'm saying is that if you do want to be there for other people, if you do want to show up in the world and fulfill your purpose, because part of your purpose is helping other people, how can you do that if you yourself are not content in who you are, if you don't know who you are, if you're not in tune with the voice of God and how he sees you? So that gives you the information, the encouragement to go out into the world and show up as that person. And I think a lot of people's problem, mine included, at a certain point in my life, was I was seeking for that in other people. But then I slowly realized, slowly but surely, they don't think like I do. They don't understand things the way that I do. So I'm like, maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I need to conform. But God says not to conform. God said to be set apart. God said that we're peculiar people, that we are the salt of the earth, we're the light on the top of the hill. So yeah, you're gonna think differently, you're gonna feel differently, you're gonna go through different things that have built you into who you are, maybe things that people can't relate to, but all of that is a part of God's plan to make you that peculiar person, that light on the top of the hill. And how can you be that if your light is dimmed by everyone? How can you be set apart but you're around mediocre people? Like, you have to step out on that. God created you to be different for a reason, and it's in my time alone that I've realized that is why God has given me the mind to think the way that I do. That is why God has set me on this particular path that's not like a lot of people, has given me certain desires, certain passions, certain things, you know, in this life that at first I felt different, in a bad way at first. Like, dang, I don't feel normal. I don't think like other people. I don't see things like other people. I just feel like I'm the only one who's been through this, which obviously I'm not the only one, but I felt alienated by my differences. I felt alienated by them as opposed to unique and wonderfully made in them. But that's because I was seeking validation from other people who didn't have those same views, those same insights. So naturally, it would pollute my perception of things. When I took a step back, I came inward, I started to realize it's those differences that make me outstanding. It's those things that make me who God designed me to be, like from the inside and out. And it's something I'm still navigating. We're only human at the end of the day, so there are going to be days that are harder than others, that you're reminded of the past you, and maybe some trauma might be there still, but I'm still working through it and I'm still showing up. That's one of the most important things that fitness is teaching me, that it's not going to feel good in the beginning, and even further down the line you still might have days that are harder than others. But at the end of the day, those little wins are compiling into a big one. You'll start to realize, this is mine. This is my thing, and I'm going to cultivate it. I'm going to spend time working on it, regardless of whoever is around. God didn't give everyone that dream. He gave you that dream. So how will you use it? How will you mold it? Who will you become out of it? Yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you to my 48 subscribers. I got like 20 more for my last video, so I went from 29 to 48. I'm so grateful for y'all. I will see y'all in the next video. And yeah, Kennedy Nevaeh out. Bye.